Ah, what a beautiful day. The birds are chirping, the brook is babbling. It's all so disgusting! I should be at home on Twitch.tv, but because of this dog's weak biologic impulses, I am forced to touch grass. When will we finally live in a gamer's utopia, where I can spend 14 hours a day donating to my favorite VTuber lesbian jewel thieves? This is truly oppression. Good afternoon, jank enthusiasts. I'm MBT, and this is 10-Minute Testing. This channel may have started as a scam to make a living playing Edo Pro, but it's become so much more than that. Over the past several years, I've tried my hardest to protect the most marginalized individuals in this great nation, gamers. Now, Konami is finally taking notice and allowing the gaming race to rise up. Join me, and let us break the meta ceiling.
The most oppressed group of all, gamers.
So here's the list, and yes, I am playing the big lesbian. As always, I'll give you a background about the archetype, a little bit of a discussion about what I hope the deck can do, and of course, the card by card. But first, this video is sponsored by Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck is the pack opening website that everyone's been using for their progression series, but they finally support Chaos Draft. You might have also missed this website has a deck builder, a card database, and a wealth of strategy articles. I use it to post the Chalice Slime monthly deck breakdowns, so give it a look at www.ygoprodeck.com. So with that, let's examine Evil Twin. Evil Twin, Live Twin, Salaman Great but Fuckable, whatever you want to call this deck, it's been around since Genesis Impact, a deck build pack that contained Magistus, this, and... shoot. Could have sworn there was a third archetype. Ah, well, I can't remember it now, and it's probably best if I don't try. This archetype of Cyberse lesbians are VTubers by day and international women of mystery by night, stealing jewels after dark and subs each morning. This duality extends to their prints as well. As a series of low-rarity side-set monsters, you can build the entire deck for just about $30. Or you also have the option of purchasing these lovable ladies at a high rarity and spending upwards of $10,000 on their collector's rares and starlights. Never before has a card game so effectively captured the feel of whaling. But this is Konami we're talking about. They've certainly had practice. Aesthetics aside, here's how they play. The first series of Live Twins, if summoned while you control no other monsters, summons the other one from deck. From there, you can link into their Evil Twin counterpart, reborn the live version, link again, and end on a board of both Evil Twins. For a long time, this was the best you could do, setting up a 1 in a new chain pop via the blue one on your opponent's turn, and drawing one card on your own turn with the pink. This obviously is not enough to sustain a self-contained archetype, but it was enough to see some fringe play in decks that didn't need their normal summon like Eldritch. At the very minimum, normal summon Kiss-a-Kill is slightly more exciting than normal summon A-lister. Until now, Burst of Destiny, a set I believe will go down in history as one of the most impactful of all time, has a single card that might turn this suboptimal splash into a tier 1 meta strategy, a new pair of VTubers called Evil Twin Trouble Sunny. I think the tall one is supposed to be Trouble, and the short one is supposed to be Sunny, but for Evil Twin players, they are just what the deck was missing. This Link 4 monster can be made using an Evil Twin monster, and as a quick effect, can summon both pink and blue from the graveyard, meaning you're able to get a draw and a pop, chain blocked in the order you prefer, on your opponent's turn. It gets better from there. In the main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard and send an Evil Twin from your hand, deck, or face-up field to the graveyard to non-targeting send a card on the field to the grave. It's removal, it's extension, it's a boss the deck can build towards off of a single card. I can smell the clip channels already. So with that, let's get into the card by card. First up, 3 pink, Live Twin Kiss-a-Kill. Each time an opponent's monster declares an attack, you gain 500 life points. This effect will never come up. And if this card is normal or special summoned and you control no other monsters, summon a Leela from your hand or deck. After that is 3 copies of Live Twin Kiss-a-Kill Frost. This is her December getup. If you control a Leela, you can special summon this card from your hand, important for scenarios in which one of your starters gets ashed. But more importantly, it's a better summon off of blue, because if a card is added from the main deck to your opponent's hand by a card effect while you control an evil twin, and this monster is in your graveyard, you can banish it to draw a card. After that is 3 blue, live twin Leela. Your opponent must pay 500 life points to declare an attack, and if this card is normal or special summoned and you control no other monsters, you can special summon a Kiss-a-Kill from your hand or deck. We're also playing 1 copy of her cosplay, the Halloween getup. This is only important because it's slightly better than summoning blue from deck, though you will probably never proc the effect. It's useful for extension on very specific board states as well, and most of these monsters are extremely accessible because of the spell traps the deck plays. We're playing 1 copy of Evil Twin Kiss-a-Kill Leela. This card is terrible, but you need to send an Evil Twin from your hand, deck, or face-up field to activate Trouble Sunny's effect, and this allows us to do it without going to minus. If it's still in deck, that means that we get the absolute most powerful plus we can off of the Link 4. Next up are the hand traps, 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, and some ratios that are going to make your eyes bleed: Effect Veiler, Ghost Bell, and Nibiru. These are all pretty good against our deck, so we are playing them for Crossout Designator. After that is 3 Secret Passphrase. It adds an Evil Twin or a Live Twin spell trap from your deck to your hand, 3 copies of Live Twin Entrance, which for the low cost of 1 card in your hand allows you to special a Kiss-a-Kill or a Leela from your deck, and 3 copies of Live Twin Sunny's Snitch. This is a new piece of support, which adds a Live Twin monster from your deck to your hand and burns your opponent while they special summon monsters and you control an Evil Twin. Next, we are playing 3 copies of Triple Tactical Talents. If your monster gets ashed, this is a fantastic follow-up because it's pretty likely you're going to find one of your pieces of extension, 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet, 3 copies of Crossout Designator, and 1 copy of Called by the Grave. This is the tax that prevents impoverished players from accessing the deck. Whip out your mom's credit cards, ladies and gentlemen. After that, we've got 3 copies of Infip and 1 copy of Evil Twin Challenge. This card is only okay, but there are a lot of scenarios in which you have everything because the deck is so consistent, and you have a secret passphrase rotting in your hand. In the extra, we've got pretty much the only Xyz we would ever make, Sky Cavalry Centuria, and the card that follows it up, Negalogia AA Zeus. I missed that old name. I wish they hadn't changed it. We've got 3 copies of Evil Twins Trouble Sunny. This is not a double helix for the archetype, but it's darn close. As a quick effect, you contribute this card to special summon a Kiss-a-Kill and a Leela from your graveyard. That's and/or, so if one of them is no longer there, great. You can banish this card from your graveyard and send an Evil Twin monster from your hand, deck, or face-up field to the graveyard. Send 1 card on the field to the graveyard. Not only is this a great end boss to go into, you can go into it mid-combo on your turn after your opponent has already set up to access a removal spell and then end on it again because you can special summon it more than once per turn. We've got 3 copies of Evil Twin Kiss-a-Kill, 3 copies of Evil Twin Leela. These draw a card and pop respectively. 1 copy of Unchained Abomination. This is in here because it just has a very good typing. It is a Dark Fiend, which means that it runs into very few of the archetype's potential Xenolocks. You can end on this card to pop opponent's cards, and then if you have like a Reborn spell, you can bring back something like the Kiss-a-Kill to reborn the Leela and pop 2 additional cards. There's a lot of scenarios in which you want to see this bad boy. And then, of course, we've got Phoenix, Unicorn, and Access Code Talker. On the follow-up play, you can very often go through these monsters without ever incurring any of the Xenolocks, and OTKing, I've heard, is pretty good. So with that, let's jump into the games. Our first match is up against Exorcister. For the longest time, Evil Twin were the iconic lesbians of Yu-Gi-Oh! But now one paranormal polycule threatens to upset that balance. This is a duel for more than a single Edopro win. It's a duel for the future of representation. Our opponent's going first. They're going to begin with a copy of Sophia. They'll activate the effect of Elise in hand, and then they will draw a singular card. They'll activate the continuous spell, and this deck's terrible. Okay, let's wax them. We'll go for a secret passphrase. They will go for an Ash Blossom, but fool! We have drawn a Crossout Designator. We'll negate that sucker and get used to hearing that sentence. Afterwards, we're going to go for a Trouble Sun, and we'll get ourselves a copy of Leela, which we will then activate to summon Frost from deck. We'll summon the Leela Treat from hand and go into Leela, popping the back row, and because we can't summon anything from the graveyard until these Exorcisters are off the field, we'll go ahead and wipe them before we go for Kiss-a-Kill, bringing back Leela, and then, of course, a copy of Trouble Sunny. We'll set 2 and pass back to our opponent, who draws a hand trap for turn. They'll go for a Pot of Prosperity, finding off the top. Okay, the Exorcister Trap. They'll set that bad boy and pass back after we draw a card off of our Frost. We'll go for Trouble Sunny at end step and get both Kiss-a-Kill and Leela, activating Kiss-a-Kill as Chainlink 2. They will Ash Blossom it, but that's absolutely fine. I'll trade that all day. We'll get the Trap card, and from here should be a hop, skip, and a jump to lethal. We'll special summon the Frost, normal summon the Kiss-a-Kill, go into a Unicorn, go into an Access Code Talker, and then we will activate the effect of the Kiss-a-Kill. They will Veiler, we will Called by the Grave, and they will concede. So it's time for game 2, and our opponent is playing B Trooper. Unfortunately for them, though we have only included it as a cross-out designator target, we have drawn the critical card in this matchup. Nibiru the Primal Being is this deck's biggest weakness. It turns out insects don't fare very well against the planet-destroying meteor. Our opponent's going to go for Resonance Insect and pin the bullseye. Always remember to activate the effect to pin the bullseye before going into a copy of Armor Horn. From here they can activate Armor Horn for an extra normal. They're going to use Sting the Poisons effect in order to get a Twinbow the Attacker, which they will then summon. Next is Pico. They'll activate Pico's effect, pitching this Doom Dozer to set another Resonance Insect, and then shuffling it back into the deck for a future Resonance search, I suppose. They'll go into an Invincible Atlas and activate the effect of Resonance Insect for a Contact C before going into B Trooper formation, bringing back this copy of Armor Horn and taking 1,000. They'll Atlas here in order to summon from deck a copy of Sting Lancer, which they will then activate in order to get the counter trap. They'll activate Armor Horn here to activate in sequence 2 Resonance Insect, adding to graveyard both a Scout Buggy and a Goki Pole. The Goki Pole will add a copy of Retaliating to hand. They'll go into Papillion, set a card, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, we should be able to do this. We've drawn okay. We'll go for Trouble Sun first in order to get ourselves a copy of Leela. We do control another monster, so we have to special from our hand. They'll go for Sting Lancer here, but unfortunately for them, we have the Called by the Grave, and they have a Sting Lancer in grave. That's going to be negated, and then we can resolve the effect of our Kiss-a-Kill. We'll go for Leela afterwards, summoning back the Kiss-a-Kill, and then drawing a card. They'll contact C, but that doesn't actually do anything to us, I don't think. We'll go into a Trouble Sunny and then activate the effect of Trouble Sunny in the main phase in order to bring back Leela and Kiss-a-Kill. We have not yet activated the effect of Leela this turn, so we'll pop that token and then use the graveyard effect of Trouble Sunny to wipe the formation. We'll get in for a ton of damage, and though we've left them at 800, with this copy of Trouble Sunny on our side of the field, every time our opponent summons a monster, they take 200 points of damage. So after they resolve the effect of the Scout Buggy, they've got 1 left before they die. They'll go into an Armor Horn, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So it's time for game 3, and you know what that means, a best of 3 versus meta. Our opponent's playing Virtual World, and this Nibiru is glued to our opener. I'm not complaining in this matchup. They're going to go for a Nyan Nyan, then activate the effect of the Lili in hand, sending both a Chuche and a Qinglong to the graveyard. They'll Qinglong in order to get a copy of Lulu, then Lulu effect targeting the Nyan Nyan to send a Zhuanwu. From here they can activate the Chuche in grave to modulate the Lulu, and then go into a Zolkin. Thankfully we do have the infip for the Zolkin. Afterwards they're going to go for a Lao Lao targeting the Nyan Nyan, and this is definitely the optimal time to Nibiru. But I got greedy. That's going to get a Shen Shen to their side of the field, and this card specifically is just killer against us. You're going to see in a moment. So they pass back to us, and unfortunately, this Kiss-a-Kill isn't going to trigger because we control a monster. We're going to have to go for Secret Passphrase to get a Trouble Sun and an Extender, so we can normal summon the Kiss-a-Kill, special summon the Leela Treat, go into the Kiss-a-Kill, trigger the Kiss-a-Kill, bring back the Leela, go into the Leela. They will unfortunately be able to Chuche here, but that's fine because this Kiss-a-Kill can bring back that monster on our opponent's turn anyway. We'll go to the battle phase, attack directly, and then set 1 card and pass. Now the problem here, Kiss-a-Kill can only activate during the main phase, which means our opponent always has the ability to go for Shen Shen, turning on the Chuche in the process. They'll go for Qinglong, we'll go for Kiss-a-Kill, they'll Shen Shen and Chuche. And unfortunately, that means that as we summon the Leela, this Kiss-a-Kill that was on our field is now banished. This deck has a huge problem versus macro effects. As a result, though we are burning our opponent with the Trouble Sunny, we're not going to be able to reboard anything particularly meaningful with this Leela because our target is now banished. We're going to have to go for Vanilla Kiss-a-Kill. We gain some life off of its effect, and then we're going to lose our extenders as well. We can keep the Shen Shen low with the graveyard effect of Leela Treat, which I never thought I'd be able to activate, but we still need to draw something pretty crazy in order to get out of this. Our opponent's going to go into M7 to set up for next turn, and then pass back to us, and that's not going to do it. So it's time for game 2, and geez Louise, drawing the Garnet feels so bad, but our hand is pretty good. 2 hand traps and 2 ways to get to our combo. Our opponent doesn't have any hand traps, which bodes particularly well. We'll begin with a copy of Trouble Sun. We'll use it to get an extender just in case they stop our Kiss-a-Kill, but they don't. We'll go for Kiss-a-Kill for a Leela, and then we'll make Kiss-a-Kill. We'll activate Kiss-a-Kill's effect to bring back Leela and go into blue. We'll trigger Leela in order to bring back pink and draw a card. From here, we can activate the Secret Passphrase we drew off the top. Wow, we get to go for the Unchained Abomination line, setting a copy of Evil Twin Challenge. Our opponent's going to Emergency Teleport. This is a little crusty for us just because the pop would occur on a new chain, and that means that we aren't able to respond to a Virtual World effect in hand, but still pretty good. We're going to try and keep this field clear. We'll use Unchained Abomination to pop our own monster so we can activate Leela and draw a card as well. They will bring back a Nyan Nyan. Double Nyan Nyan I don't think does it. They're going to activate the effect of Lili. Will Ash Blossom this? I just assume they don't have too many names in their hand. They'll go into Phantom Knights of Breaksword, but that's not going to be able to do it because we also have the Effect Veiler for that. And they don't have a particularly good Zeus line because when they attack over one of our monsters, we can trigger the Abomination, destroying their Xyz. Unfortunately, they have to pass, and we should be able to win from this position. We'll activate A-Bomb in order to send that copy of Zhuanwu to the graveyard, and now time to pop off. We will activate the effect of Leela, bringing back the Kiss Kill and drawing a card before going to Trouble Sunny. We're going to normal summon a copy of Kiss Kill, special summon a Leela Treat, and go into a second Kiss Kill, bringing back the Leela before we go to the battle phase, and deal a lethal amount of damage. So it's time for that all-important Game 3, and dang it, not only have we drawn the Garnet for the second game in a row, we've drawn 0 hand traps whatsoever. Okay, let's see what our opponent can do. They're going to begin with a copy of Pot of Desires. Oh, a lot wrote on that, and the Lulu off of the top. Sheesh. Okay, they'll go for the Qinglong, and then afterwards they'll go for the ZC targeting the Lulu. From here, they should be able to pop all the way off. They're going to go to Coral Dragon and an Ultimaya Zulkin. They'll trigger the effect of the Coral to draw a card. It's an Infip. Come on, even more interaction. They'll go into Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, and then they will bring back the Lulu, special summon the Lili, and end on Shen Shen as well. Now, Shen Shen is just such a problem for us. We still might be able to chew through it. We'll draw for turn. Okay, we'll go for a Kiss a Kill. They'll Infip. We needed them to activate the effect of Crystal Wing. Okay, we can cross out the Infip. They'll Chuche, and sending cards from our field to the graveyard while Shen Shen is on the field is just so killer. Oh, God. We go for Leela. Leela does get to trigger here. They get to Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon it, but we can take the Crystal Wing with the triple tactical talents, and then we can secret passphrase in order to get a copy of Entrance. So we'll go to the battle phase, walk over the Shen Shen, then afterwards activate Entrance in order to summon a copy of Leela from deck. We'll walk over the Zulkin, but unfortunately this Leela doesn't have anything to summon because everything was banished. That Shen Shen cost us, and we'll concede to its recursion. So we're back with the deck, and I might have overestimated it a bit. It's good, for sure, but I don't know if it's strong enough to help the gamers rise up. Let's do the pros and cons. First, the pros. 1, the deck is really, really low investment. All of their combos are 1 cards, and they have a million extenders if something goes wrong. 2, you've got a whole new world of removal and extra deck options. This is an old weakness of the deck. Previously, it was only capable of popping cards and using Fiends to do so. Now we can send cards and weave through Access and Zeus lines. And 3, the new monster is very cute. And the cons. 1, the deck is still pretty one-note. Your opponent can effectively interrupt you by keeping you with 1 useless monster on the field, or playing around individual pops, or keeping you off of your specific extenders. 2, the deck has a massive weakness to macro Cosmos effects. Shen Shen is a killer versus this thing. And 3, it still feels like it's missing something. Like Salamangreat eventually got its transcode talker, this deck needs a way to deviate from its main line without going all in on something ridiculous like Abominable Unchained Soul. All in all, the deck is certainly going to be playable, but maybe not as good as we first expected when we saw Trouble Sunny. As always, thanks to my patrons Dominic Ernst, Hakuo, AJBYGO, Alex Perea, Andrew Eller, BB Poison, Blue Fanfiction Inc., Brandon Field, Brandon Keys, Colin Miller, Crispy, Dan the Man Hoban, Dubs Rewatcher, Dying Eyes, Frosty, Ekaliba Brot, Jack Sack PhD, King Magic Ruler, Night Mary, Kylie Denton, Major Rusty, Mike Carlotti, Not Witty, Robot, Rocky Hernandez, Rose Lapine, Sarah Routledge, Seeker, Space Condor, Space Dandy 1993, Test Subject 213, Adam Trevino, Adrian Bra, Adventure Spence, Afro Ninja 123, Alex Dominguez, Alfred Hendricks, Amaranta V, Andrew Benson, Andrew Ferruia, Andrew Horseman, Apex TCG, Ball and Stalin, Basement Doka, Benjamin Cole Kierman, Billy Williams, Blackacre, Blake Root, Blair, Brendan Peterson, Breaker the Outrage, Brody Colson, Captain Breadbeard, Cash Money Yuki, Chad Bortz, Chad Weatherington, Chase Smith, Chorps Away, CG Alex, Cole Schulian, Colin Gustafson, Control for the Win, Crystal Red Fox, Daffy Deathclock, Dan Schwer, Danny Guadalupe, Darcy Tevz, Dive Missile, Dogma, Dr. Batman, Distrin, LP Got Band, Sag, Emily V, Emperor Stove, Ernesto Ibarra, Fisker Whiskers, FUTR, Game of Wolf, Gavin K, Griever, Hank Cheesecake, Helios the Helios, Haruf, How to Lose, Josemina, Hunter Smith, I Have Nothing But Contempt for This Court, Incredibly Slow, Isaac Jackson, Jane Linya, Jason Leonard, Jay Gordon, Jeff Leonard, Jesse Cox, Jonathan Wallace, Jupe, Jose Luis Cortez, Joy Orjon, Julia Chulian, Callie, Kiffin Hirschterway, Corey Hess, Gurakaze, Lake Bayer, Lawrence, Leah Lisblitz, Knight, Lottie, Lovro Plesse, Lucas Angles, Lucas Geerdes, Lucas Arizzo Hansen, Major Duncan, Matthew Taylor, Max Merb, Mezzo Emrys, Michael Marks, Michael Oskvark, Miles Edgelord, Mimes Are Creepy, Miyuna Arashi, Mr. Ease, Nick Extreme 99, Neru Soup, Nitro Skull, Nix Dolores, Node Pop, Noom, Omase, One Glad Morning, Austrin, Part 2, Pizer, Picnic Blasted, Precise Spike 13, Pro FB2, Chrono, Raska, Riley Malo, Sam Pinney, Sapphic Ashley, Scrafted, Sean Deal, Sean Flynn, Second Sendoria, Seraphine, Shy, SSJ Magin Slayer, Standards Objective, Steve McMullen, Swinkles, Tate Rosencutter, The Carl Moxley, The Saucy Pickle, This Machine 237, Thought Auditor, Violet Prison, Why Am I Here, Yordle Hu, Yuri's Best, and Yukie. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing. And if you want to be part of the process, consider following me on Twitch as well. See you next time.